The city never sleeps, they say, but sometimes it whispers secrets that no one dares to listen to. On a cold, rainy night, the neon lights of Riverton flickered, casting shadows on alleys where no one walked. Somewhere in the darkness, a crime was unfolding, one that would shake the city to its core. The victims were unknown, the motives unclear, and the perpetrator a ghost in plain sight. Tonight, you are about to follow a story so twisted, so shocking, that by the end, nothing will feel the same again. Detective Laura Hayes had seen her fair share of murders, but the scene at 17 Marlowe Street was different. The apartment was pristine, almost untouched, except for the lifeless body of a young woman lying on the floor, her eyes wide open in frozen terror. No signs of struggle, no fingerprints, no forced entry, and yet something felt disturbingly personal about the crime. Laura crouched beside the body. The victim had a faint, almost imperceptible mark on her wrist, a symbol she had seen before in cases long buried in the police archives. It was the mark of the Raven, a criminal nobody could catch, a phantom whose crimes had spanned decades. Each murder meticulously planned, each victim carefully chosen. The Raven didn't just kill, he orchestrated fear. As she examined the room, a faint sound caught her attention, soft, deliberate tapping from the living room. She drew her gun and edged toward the source. There, on the coffee table, lay an envelope with her name scrawled across it in an elegant mocking hand. Laura's heart raced. She tore it open. Inside, a single line, "You are closer than you think, detective. But can you survive what comes next?" The rain outside intensified, drumming against the windows like a warning. Laura felt a chill crawl down her spine. Whoever had done this was playing a game, and she was now unwillingly a part of it. Back at the precinct, she spread the crime scene photos across the table. Her partner, Detective Mark Ruiz, peered over her shoulder. "This isn't just another murder, is it?" he asked, his voice low. Laura shook her head. "No, this is different. The Raven has a reason for choosing her, and I think he's picking us apart one clue at a time." Over the next few days, Laura and Mark delved into the victim's life. She was a journalist known for uncovering corporate scandals, but nothing that seemed dangerous enough to warrant murder. Yet the deeper they dug, the more they realized there were hidden connections, secret meetings, unreported trips, and a mysterious benefactor who seemed to shadow her every move. Then came the first clue, a hidden flash drive in her desk drawer. Inside were encrypted files that hinted at a conspiracy reaching higher than they ever imagined. Names, locations, and dates, everything meticulously documented. The more they uncovered, the more they realized the woman had been on the brink of exposing something enormous. And the Raven had known. That night, as Laura reviewed the files alone in her apartment, she heard the faint creak of the floorboards. Her instincts screamed danger. She spun around, gun raised, only to find a black envelope on her doorstep. Another message, another taunt. This one was different. Inside was a small, broken figurine of a raven with a note attached. "You wanted the truth. Now it wants you." Laura's hands trembled. This wasn't just about murder anymore. It was about survival. And the closer she got, the more the Raven seemed to anticipate her every move. The following morning, Laura and Mark convened at the precinct. The evidence they had uncovered pointed to a network of people, all seemingly unrelated, yet connected through hidden transactions and whispered deals. It was like pulling a single thread and realizing it ran through the entire fabric of the city's underworld. Mark frowned, tapping his pen against the table. This isn't just a murder. Someone's orchestrating everything from behind the scenes. And the Raven? He's the puppet master. Laura nodded grimly. And he's leading us exactly where he wants us. Their next lead came from an unexpected source. An anonymous tipster who claimed to have witnessed suspicious activity near the docks. The tip was vague, but Laura's gut told her it was genuine. They drove through the rain-soaked streets, arriving at an abandoned warehouse. Its windows were shattered, doors creaking in the wind. Laura's flashlight cut through the darkness, revealing crates stacked high and shadows dancing across the walls. Suddenly, a voice echoed, "Detective Hayes, you're getting too close." The chilling calm in the voice froze Laura in place. It was him, the Raven. She instinctively drew her gun. But the sound of footsteps retreating made her chase futile. Whoever he was, he had vanished as silently as he had appeared. Inside the warehouse, they found a series of photographs scattered across the floor. Each one depicted the victim in her final days, watched, followed, studied. The photos were taken with meticulous precision, almost like a makeup diary. One photograph, however, stood out, a picture of Laura herself, taken outside her own apartment. The realization hit like a punch. The Raven wasn't just a murderer. He was watching them, anticipating their every move. Back at the precinct, Laura replayed the security footage from her apartment building. She noticed a figure slipping past the camera's blind spot, moving with deliberate stealth. She froze, recognizing the coat, the way the person's hands moved. Someone trained, calculating. Then came the break in the case, a coded message hidden in the flash drive files. Laura spent hours deciphering it, finally uncovering a series of coordinates. They led to the outskirts of the city, to a secluded mansion abandoned for years. Everything in her gut screamed danger, yet she knew they had to go. The Raven was setting a trap. At night, Laura and Mark drove toward the mansion, the fog rolling over the highway like a blanket of shadows. They parked at the tree line, guns drawn, flashlights slicing through the darkness. The mansion loomed ahead, its broken windows resembling hollow eyes staring into their souls. Inside, they found a room arranged like a gallery of terror. Newspaper clippings, photos, and personal items of previous victims lined the walls, and at the center of it all, a recording device. Laura pressed play. A distorted voice filled the room. "You found me. Or perhaps I found you. The game is far from over. You think you understand, but you know nothing. Follow the path, detective, and you may survive. Ignore it, and you will become a page in my story." Laura's heart raced. This was no longer just a murder investigation. The Raven wasn't just a killer. He was an architect of fear, and every move she made was part of his design. The room itself was a trap, yet somewhere in the chaos, there was a clue. A pattern, a mistake. She had to find it before it was too late. As they explored further, Mark's flashlight caught a glimmer under the floorboards. Kneeling, he pried it open, revealing a small box. Inside was a single key and a note. "This opens what you seek. But beware, the closer you get, the more dangerous it becomes." Laura's hand tightened around the key. The chase was far from over, and the night was only beginning. The key fit perfectly into the lock of a hidden safe in the mansion's basement. Laura's fingers shook as she turned it, revealing a collection of documents, photographs, and a diary belonging to the Raven himself. Each page detailed his meticulous planning, his manipulations, and the twisted logic behind each crime. Saban Madan Kolo Bunda, Seven Madan Onda. The closer she got, the more horrifying the truth became. The Raven wasn't just a serial killer, he was orchestrating a web of corruption that touched politicians, businessmen, and law enforcement alike. Mark whispered, This is bigger than we imagined. Laura nodded grimly. And he wants us to see it all. But now we have the upper hand. Suddenly, the sound of a door slamming echoed through the mansion. They spun around, guns raised, hearts pounding. A shadow emerged from the darkness. The Raven, he was calm, almost amused, his eyes glinting in the dim light. Detectives, you've done well to follow the breadcrumbs, but every path leads to a choice, and yours is about to end. The chase that followed through the crumbling mansion was relentless. Laura and Mark pursued the Raven through narrow hallways, up shattered staircases, and across precarious balconies. Each turn revealed another layer of his twisted genius, hidden passages, false exits, and traps designed to disorient and frighten. Finally, they cornered him in the mansion's top-floor study. The room was lined with mirrors, multiplying his image, creating an illusion of a crowd of criminals. Laura's pulse raced. It's over, Raven. Surrender. He smiled, almost pitifully. Over? Detective, this has only just begun. Do you see? Fear is the truth, and I am its keeper. In a split second, he lunged toward a hidden lever, but Mark tackled him to the floor. The struggle was fierce, but ultimately, the Raven was subdued. Handcuffed and defeated, he finally spoke calmly. You may think you've won, but the game never ends. Others will rise. Others will follow the path I paved. Remember that. As the police arrived to take him away, Laura and Mark stood in the empty study, catching their breath. The mansion, once a lair of terror, now felt hollow, yet the weight of what they had uncovered lingered. The corruption, the secrets, the lives touched. It would take years to unravel everything. Laura turned to Mark. We stopped him, but the city, it's not safe yet. This was just the beginning. Mark nodded. And we'll be ready, always. The Raven is caught, but the city's shadows still hide secrets. If you love this story, hit subscribe and join us for more dark mysteries.